Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. Today's session is on preparing for the big move into the Dementia Unit and considering in particular putting in place all practical systems, aspects to be able to make the move as smooth as is possible. And the second thing to focus on is to consider and respect and conserve the energy of the main carer, who will be the wife. Okay, so the man going into the dementia unit is Doug. And Doug is about 82, his wife's about 80. He's had dementia, diagnosed 15 years ago. She's been looking after him, and the last 8 years have been increasingly difficult. He's not aggressive, but he's difficult. He's always criticizing her. He's always saying that she's pinching his stuff. He's not settled. He does sleep at night though, which is a great help. So at least she gets a good night's sleep, and he doesn't wander off, which is a really big help because they've got a big garden and she just shuts the gate, locks the gate. And he doesn't mind wandering around the garden, pottering in the garage, though he doesn't do much. And he speaks, the neighbours on both sides are very good and chat to him over the fence. So actually he's contained there and she doesn't have to worry about him taking off and all the problems with that. But still, day to day it's difficult. He needs cares. A carer comes in twice a week for cares, and then he goes to some sort of activity centre twice a week for 3 hours each time, in Alzheimer's Dementia Centre for respite for her. So she's got everything in place, but still it's exhausting, utterly exhausting, because she's got support from one good friend, and her name is Anne, and her daughter Annie is quite good, but she's in the North Island in Wellington. She's a busy charge nurse looking after some hospital there. And the boy, the son Bob, he is in Christchurch in the same city as her, but he drinks a bit and he's not that reliable, so she can't really rely on him. But the friend Anne is the one who's the great help, and so she has to rely on her. So all preparation for this event, actually they discuss together. So from this point on, we'll go through this. Okay, so Anne, the friend, is, she's actually been a carer in her working life, but not in a dementia unit, but in a hospital. But she was dealing with many dementia residents there, even in the hospital, as you do. And so she had a pragmatic mindset as to how to go about this move. I mean, they'd been talking about it for weeks, actually, months, actually, together. I mean, she actually talked, the woman talked more to her friend than she did to her daughter. Her daughter was so busy, and her daughter had a very managerial style, which the mother felt a bit overwhelmed and intimidated by often, whereas with her friend, she could just sit down and have a cup of tea, and they could talk through things, nicely, quietly, easily. It takes time to sort of adjust and assess and absorb and, go through all these things. It can't just be a rushed phone call, as it often was with the daughter. So anyway, thank goodness she had this good friend and she could go through things with Anne. Anyway, what Anne had suggested, and also you'd realised yourself, because you'd been an accountant in your day, and you loved reading, and so you knew you had to study up on dementia. You'd gone to the library, you got out the books, very little there that was practical. You found big textbooks from medical textbooks on dementia and diagnosis and all the doom and gloom, which you didn't want. You just wanted practical techniques and aspects of how to move into a dementia unit most effectively. That's was your goal. So anyway, the library books didn't help much. And then it was your friend that said about the videos, looking online on YouTube and just typing in what you wanted to know about and seeing other people's experiences, etc. So you found that really helpful. You've looked at all these online YouTube videos, and you've looked at this set of videos, about present memory, past memory. You know about low level anger, high level anger, moderate level anger. You know about how to set up the room. You've gone into that in quite a lot of detail. All those videos on those topics are, you know, in this series, big series. Anyway, she's found out about all these things, the wife, and actually the thing she's most concerned about is that her daughter, you know, likes to do things her way, so she's trying to get things processed in advance before the daughter comes down. The daughter is going to come down for a quick visit the weekend of the move. She's coming on the Friday night, pack up Saturday morning, not much time is there, move on the Saturday afternoon, and then she's going back to Wellington Sunday morning. So anyway, you're trying to do as much as you can before that. Anyway, you sit down with your friend Anne, and you say, look, you know, the thing that's concerning you is what to take to the unit. That's the big deal. You feel that your husband needs, Doug needs the big armchair, the big green leather armchair, which he's always sat in, which is most comfortable, and the big, lovely, big framed photo of the farm where he was brought up. Because at night, you know that he sits in the armchair, in the lazy boy, puts his feet up, looks at the photo. You know, he either looks at the photo or the TV. They are the two things he does now, pretty much the only things he does other than wander around the garden. So you feel he needs those two things, but your daughter is saying, no, Dad doesn't need that big chair. It's too heavy, it's too clunky, it'll take up too much room and too difficult to get it there. And also that big, huge picture. He can just take a small picture, one of the township. He doesn't need one of the farm. Oh, the daughter's going, anyway, but look, you know that he needs those two things, and so you've used all your last drops of energy, which is very low barrel anyway. I mean, you feel that you're at the bottom of the barrel. You've had 8 years of looking after your husband. You're exhausted, and you've pushed hard on the phone to explain to your daughter about this, about the green chair and the picture of the farm need to go, but she's just adamant. And so anyway, you and your friend sat down and wrote an email to the daughter. And that worked. Thankfully, that worked. She accepted it, right? Okay, good. So at least those two things are in place. Oh, it's been such a mission, and you're exhausted, and you just wonder how you're going to get through it. But anyway, you have got the support of your friend. Your daughter's coming down, and the son, Bob, yes, Bob, he said that he'll get a friend who's got some trailer, and they can take the green chair and the big picture and the Duchess of Drawers, which your daughter's chosen, which not the best Duchess, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, she's chosen all that, and he's got the trailer, and he'll get there, you know, he'll take it all on the day. Hopefully he'll be up to it. Okay, so you've got all that in place, but you feel you're really exhausted actually, and you just sort of wonder how you're going to get through it, you know, because things are in place, but actually still you've got to go through the day, and also the daughter's coming down and she can be quite a handful. Anyway, so what you've decided to do is you've worked out with your son Bob whether your daughter can stay at his place, you know, so you can just be with the husband, and it can just be, you know, just like normal. So she's accepted that. Then on the day you're going to go in the car with your friend, and then your daughter can go with your husband in the other car. And for now, you're just saying it's for a medical appointment. You're staying overnight. Not that you didn't want this scenario, but it was the only way to get around it, that he's going for a medical appointment. He's staying at the hospital place overnight so that he gets his medications arranged. And you're not feeling good about that because it's not true. You know that, but you're going to discuss that with him and work it through, you know, after the first week, or in the first week if you can manage it. So anyway, that's all the preparation that's been done, and it's in place as much as it can be, you feel. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll carry on with the next video on moving into the dementia facility, the actual day, and the practical aspects around that, and how the wife manages to conserve her energy. So thank you for your views. Thank you for your likes and your comments. And anyone else that's going through this, you know, difficult process, please pass on these links so that they can, you know, have the support of understanding this information. Thank you.